Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome for another TEW2020 video with Impact Wrestling. We're on our further 4 tapings on the road to lockdown, and this is the first show that I will be booking with the 1.31 patch. Remember, if the patch isn't up to date with where we are in real life, I tape a wee bit in advance. It just allows booking it a bit more fluid. So I'm hoping within the next couple of months we can move towards weekly tapings rather than all this 4 in 1 night. It's good, but I just don't feel it flows enough, and it kind of kills any element of surprise week by week in terms of there could be a mystery signee or someone could pop up, or we can move around a little bit and get some local workers in and try people out. So hopefully we can move towards that. This week's show is kind of a continuation from last week. There were a lot of those feuds carrying on as we're on the road, of course, to Impact Wrestling Lockdown, where the couple of main matches will be within a steel cell structure. So without further ado, let's crack on with tonight's Impact Wrestling on Axis TV. So this week at the centre stage, the Loft, I've opted with Ace Austin in the ring, talking about his opportunity that he's finally getting. He's going to go and take on Matt Cardona for the Impact World Championship. But Sami Callihan comes out and just says, "Who the hell do you think you are, man? Who have you beaten around here?" That's right, no one. If you're truly great, if you truly believe you're capable of becoming the world champion, then why don't you take me on and show the world just how good you are? Because the reason that I'm saying this is because you ain't that good, Ace Austin. You ain't going to beat me, and I want to work my way back to that championship match. So while Ace Austin, Matt Cardona is pretty much booked in, Sami Callihan wants to try and trigger a little bit of a wee bit of worry into Ace Austin's mind and wants to get himself involved. So setting up our main event matchup for tonight, we give ourselves a 64 opening promo. Sami worked the crowd well because he likes it to be unscripted, while Ace Austin was poor with improvising his dialogue. Opening contest of the night saw Eddie Edwards defeat Darius Lockhart in 10-12 with a forward lung blower. At 49, just giving Eddie some momentum here and giving Darius a good opponent, giving him an opportunity to showcase his talents to see if we're worth picking him up on a full-time basis. So good win for Eddie. He cuts into a promo which gives us a 54. He speaks about how he's looking to get a match up for Lockdown. He's aware he's not booked at the moment. He's aware there's a lot of higher end talents that are not booked either. So if any of them have got a problem with Eddie Edwards or Impact Wrestling Management, they can take on Eddie Edwards. So I'm talking the likes of maybe one of Moose, one of Eric Young, could possibly be EC3. I haven't decided just yet, but one of them will face Eddie Edwards going forward. Moving along, we had 2 sets of former Knockouts Tag Team Champions in this matchup, and it was a decent match. It saw the team of Deonna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee defeat Team C-Stars, of course Ashley Vox and Delmi Exo, in 9:38 when Deonna Purrazzo submitted Ashley Vox with a Fujiwara armbar. A 45 here, I think that gives a good showcase to the other 3 talents that aren't quite as over as Deonna. Some decent performances. She carries the match up, but I'm hoping all 4 can be pivotal members of our Knockouts division going forward. Then get a hype package for our soon to debut talent that we have acquired from the free agent list, and that is Crazy Mary Dobson. We're going to make her go back to her old roots, so there will be no more Sarah Logan. There will be Crazy Mary Dobson doing crazy things. 24. She'll debut probably after lockdown. We then had an in-ring debutant, you could say. We have finally had the New Decay in action, so I'm going to get them added as a tag team. This was a terrible matchup that saw the team of Crazy Steve and Pavel Kirkin defeat the Desi Hit Squad in 8:55, with Crazy Steve pinning Raj Singh with the centralizer. Kirkin, the weak link here, only a 15, no overness in the States, so we need to build them up, and this is going to be our way of doing so. And a 33 gives the New Decay a good dub in this instance. We then had a promo by the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, and they basically just call it the Decay is absolute weirdos. They just say they want nothing to do with them, but if needs must, they'll beat them up, they'll get the win, and then they'll move on. They just feel that the Decay are just a side note, a side distraction in their quest to becoming Impact Tag Team Champions again. We then had another, is it Bushi's debut? I think it's his second matchup. I think he debuted last week. But anyway, but they had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. had BUSHI defeat Hernandez in 7:38 with the Firebird Splash. 36, just building up a BUSHI, I wish it was a BUSHI. BUSHI's overness in the States. I felt like with Hernandez, a talent that's obviously the plus side of 50, has to be putting people over, getting others over, and hopefully that does help BUSHI going forward. Then some words from Leo Rush. He says it's encouraging to see some progress in the X Division. BUSHI's coming to the fore, and he's intrigued to see the situation between the Motor City machine guns. So he'll watch that with caution, but he feels the X Division is just going to pick up. And that's a 48 rated promo. We then had Doc Gallows in action against Brian Myers. I had Doc Gallows pick up the win in 10:02 by disqualification, 52. So we'll just have Brian Myers with the low blow because he wasn't going to get the victory. So the results to Sheeton, that gives a 52 overall, a 57 for Gallows, a 43 for Myers, and that leads to a 2v2 brawl in the ring. Gallows and Anderson are obviously celebrating, but they are beaten down by the very professional wrestlers in the form of Chris Hero and Brian Myers. So yeah, good partnership aligning between Hero and Myers as they look to get the better of the Good Brothers, and that's a 52 rated segment. We then had Suicide in action. He defeated John Silver last week, and this week it was a match that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling as he gets the win over Alex Reynolds in 10:21 by pinfall. A 39 here for the Mass Superstar, as yeah, they just keep falling, and Suicide is gaining traction within our X Division. We then had Chris Sabin with his words on his actions last week in this 43 rated promo. He's just said for, well, months and months and months and months and, well, probably years as well. Where was the old Chris Sabin in any of this? You know what I mean? He obviously was delighted to be back wrestling with Alex Shelley, but just didn't feel like himself. Like, it's obviously great reenacting one of the best tag teams, which he says he agrees it was, but he's thinking of like 18 years ago, 19 years ago, maybe 17 actually, I might have pushed that too far, and he's like, the Cradle Shock and all that, and just how good Chris Sabin was, taking on the likes of AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, everybody else within the X Division. He wants to get back to that level. He knows his knees are out there, but he still wants to prove he is very capable despite coming close to 40. So he wants one more run, targeting that X Division Championship. It's nothing personal, Alex Shelley. He just wants to be the goddamn best. So 43 there. Then have Ace Austin cut a promo on his upcoming matchup with Sami Callihan. This drew a 58 rated segment, and he just says he's looking forward to showing the world how good he is. He's going to beat Sami Callihan and he's going to win, and on his way to becoming world champion at Lockdown. Always believe in Ace Austin. He always have an ace up his sleeve. Matt Cardona comes down to do colour commentary, get a wee spy in the match. That's a 61. The match itself was also a 61. It had great wrestling and good heat, as Ace Austin picked up the win in 12:49 with the fold. So a clean victory. Felt like definitely put him over that way, makes him look $1 million. And then when he's confronted by Cardona and Sami Callihan, the ace up his sleeve, his good old friend Madman Fulton. We hadn't utilised them for a few weeks, but they are still a tandem. And the big man joins Ace, and the two of them beat down the champ and Sami Callihan, and the #1 contender stands tall to end this week's broadcast in a 56 rated segment. Overall, it gives us an overall rating of 56, increasing our popularity in 34 regions. Of course, that won't be the States and Canada. Production values are still not in a position where we can afford to improve them, unfortunately. God damn you, NXT, with your unlimited WWE money. So that's this week's show. Pretty decent. I'm quite happy with that. A lot of progression in terms of storylines, and the card is slowly filling up for Lockdown. Hopefully you'll join us next week for that final taping, and then we'll have the event itself a few days after that. So cheers for watching, take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye bye.